guys, it's Vicky, and today we're going to be making a ninja style candy mask, just like the one I am wearing. I do want to warn you guys, these masks have little holes in between all the beads, and in my opinion, I don't think that they would do very well to protect you against germs. Please keep that in mind. I am going to leave you guys some helpful links in the description, such as where I like to get my supplies. I'm going to have a link to a video that's going to tell you how to add the string. You're going to have to add more string to your project quite a few times today. And I'll also have all my contact information. I'm on Facebook, Instagram, Discord, and I also have an email. So if you just want to say hi, show me your candy, or get any help, I am here. Well, let me take this mask off so you can hear me better now. So for my supplies today, I am once again using these adorable pastel beads that were gifted to me by my favorite Etsy store, Jolly Store Crafts. There's their logo. You're gonna need like 435 beads or something, so I got a 500 pack right here that I'm using. I'm also going to be using this string, which is my new favorite thing that I also bought from Jolly Store Crafts. It's Stretch Magic 1mm. I like to use this for things that I need to be very sturdy and stiff, like a candy mask. And then for the ear straps, I'm going to be using, which I also got from Jolly Store Crafts. Can you tell they're my favorite store? This elastic, it's white elastic, it's 1mm thick. I love to use this for my ear straps on my masks. It might be hard to come by some elastic right now. Everybody seems to be sold out. So just feel free to use, compromise with whatever you have. These are just my recommendations. And let's get to it. So to start off with, I'm going to cut a rather long, about maybe 5 feet of that 1mm clear Stretch Magic string. The only reason I choose that specific length is just because if it's any longer than that, it gets annoying. Now I'm going to fold the string in half and hold the two ends side by side. Now I'm going to place one bead onto each end of the string. Then one bead onto both strings at once. And next, one bead on each end of the string. One bead onto both strings at once. One bead onto each end of the string. And then one bead onto both at once. Doop, doop, doop. As you can see, it is looking something like this. So that is 6 columns. You can see the 6 differently colored stripes. I'm going to keep going with this pattern until I have 31 columns or 31 different colored stripes. So once you have 31 differently colored stripes or 31 columns, you'll want to just pull all of the beads towards the middle of the folded string. once they're all like that, I usually tighten them 2 times by pulling on the columns that have 2 beads. I'll just pull on them like this. And just slide them more towards the middle. See, that looks a lot tighter. I'm just gonna do it again. Just be careful not to pull too hard because the string will break. And it might snap you on the hand. Ah! See, now that's nice and tight. And you should be able to count 31 across. If you want to play with the width of the mask, just make sure to keep it an odd number of columns wide. So now I'm going to tie this off a few times with just some simple knots. And here, once I have the first little knot tied, I'm gonna go ahead and pull on it some more and just like make it even more tight. There we go. And now I'm gonna do the second knot. And see how I'm like tugging like this? This will help the knot stay tied. Just don't do it too hard because it's very easy to break it by doing that. That's when most of mine usually break, if they break. Okay, so now we have our foundation. So this is, if you can visualize it, this part of the mask. So now we're going to make the bottom part of the mask. So now you're going to take one of the 2 strings that's hanging off there, it doesn't really matter which one, and just place it through one of these edge beads. And now I'm going to add on a bead to fill this gap. Mine's going to be purple. And then place the string through the next bead that's sticking out. So that's blue for me. Whoop. Just pull it through and the bead should sit right there in the little gap. So next I'm going to place a green bead on the string to fill that gap. And then put my string through this next yellow bead that's sticking out. Then I'll add a pink. Now I'm going to put my string through this next purple. Now I'll add a blue. Put the string through this next green. And now I'm just going to fill the gaps all the way across this row. So now I've made it all the way across this first row. So now with that same string, I'm going to turn around and without adding a bead, I'm going to put my string through this next yellow bead that's sticking out. Now I'm going to fill this gap with a green bead and put my string through this next blue that's sticking out. Then I will put on a purple bead and put my string through this next pink. Then I'm going to put a yellow. And put my string through this next green. And every few beads, you're going to want to pull on the string like this, just to keep everything tight. Once again, be careful, don't break it. And if you do break it, that's okay. I break it too sometimes. So just keep filling these gaps all the way across. Okay, so now that we're at the end of this row, it should look something like this. So once again, with the same string, I'm just going to turn around without adding a bead and put the string through this next blue bead that's sticking out. And by doing this at the edges, we're making a little diagonal pattern so that the mask will come to a point. Alright, so go ahead and fill all the gaps on this row. Now you're probably going to need to add string pretty soon. You're going to need to do that several times. If you don't know how to do it yet, just click the link in the description and you can watch a video about how I do it. Alright, so as you can see on the edges we're getting that nice diagonal look because once we get to the edge we're not adding a bead, we're just going to keep it going there, putting the string through the next bead that's sticking out. Alright, I think that I believe in you and maybe you can finish some of this bottom portion without my guidance. So what you'll do is just keep filling the gaps, don't add a bead at the end, fill the gaps, don't add a bead at the end. Keep doing this until you've got 5 gaps that you can count at the bottom. Once we get to that point, I'll catch up with you and we will talk about what to do next. Alright, so once you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 gaps at the bottom of your mask, it should look something like this. And now I'm going to show you how to finish off the bottom. We're going to taper it into 2 points that we're going to sew together later. So I'm going to put my string through this pink bead that's sticking out there. Then I'm going to add a purple and a green bead. So purple bead, string through the blue bead. Green bead, string through this yellow bead. Then this very middle gap, we're actually not going to add a bead. We're going to skip that one and just put the string through this pink bead. Like that. And then I'm going to thread the string through the purple bead that's sticking out right next to it. So now I'm going to fill these next 2 gaps. So blue, putting my string through the green, then a yellow, and put my string through the pink. Now I'm going to go the other direction, so I'm going to put my string through this next yellow bead. And now I'm going to add a green bead. And put my string through the next blue bead that's sticking out. And now I'm just going to thread my string through the next 4 beads without adding any more beads. So I'm gonna go through this purple, through this pink, through this yellow, and through this green without adding any more beads. going to add one blue bead on the very point there. And now it should look like that. And later we're gonna tie these together, but yeah, that's for later. I'm just gonna leave that hanging right there for now. So I'm gonna turn this mask around so we can start working on the middle portion of the mask now that the bottom is done. So I'm gonna take this string from earlier that we haven't been using and place it through this pink bead that's sticking out. And then add a purple bead to fill my gap here. Put my string through this next blue bead. Then I'm going to add a green bead and put my string through the next yellow bead. And just fill the gaps all the way across. The end of that row, I'm actually going to want to go back and retrieve this string we were using earlier so that we can use both strings at once to make the middle portion. So as you can see here, my string is coming out of this purple bead. I'm going to thread it all the way down the edge of the mask without adding any beads up until I get to this purple bead over here. And then I'm going to skip this bead and actually just thread it through this bottom pink bead. So let me show you. So now my string is coming out of this purple edge bead. I'm going to skip this corner pink one, and I'm just going to put my string through this bottom pink bead right here, and the string should just like suck up into that little gap there. There we go! So now that string is down there where I can use it. Probably make more sense now if I zoom out a bit. So you can see the whole thing. I have my strings coming out of each side now so I can use both of them. So that string that I just brought down, looking a little short, so I'm going to add some string. So now we want this edge to be a straight line, not diagonal like we made this one. So once we're at the end, we do want to add a bead. So I'm going to add a pink bead to the edge and then thread my string through this next purple bead that's sticking out. Next I'm going to add a blue bead and put my string through the next green. Then I'll add a yellow bead and put my string through the next pink. Keep going all the way across the row. Alright, so once you get to the end here, it's gonna look a little funny. Okay. So at this very edge, I am going to add a bead onto the same string I was working with. So now I'm going to switch strings and pick up the other string and just put it through this floaty bead right here, going the opposite way. And that will keep it on. Now I'm going to add a yellow bead and put the string through the next green that's sticking out. And I'm just going to fill the gaps all the way across. Alright, so now that I'm done with that row, I'm gonna go back to this other string, add on a pink edge bead, and put the string through the next yellow that's sticking out. And as you can see, because we're adding beads on the edge, it's looking like a straight line instead of diagonal. So now I'm going to add a green bead, put my string through the next blue, and then just fill all the gaps across this row. Alright, so on this edge here, I'm going to add a pink edge bead. Then I'm going to switch to the other string and put the string through that floaty edge bead, going towards the inside of the mask, and that will keep it on. Now we'll add a purple and put the string through the next blue and fill the gaps all the way across. So far we're doing pretty great, right? It's like maybe halfway-ish done, I don't know. So you're gonna keep doing this stitch that we're doing until you can count 7 beads down this edge. And then we're going to make the top part after that. Alrighty, so now I've got my 2 strings on the opposite sides of the mask, and I have 7 beads across the edge. So this means we are ready to make the top portion of the mask. So for this row, we're gonna fill most of the gaps except for 2 of them. 2, 4, 6, 7. The 7th bead in, that gap we're gonna leave it empty when we go across. Same thing for the side, 2, 4, 6, 7. So we're gonna leave these 2 gaps empty when we go across, okay? So I'm gonna add a pink bead on the edge here. Alright, then I'm gonna add a green bead and put my string through this next blue. Then I will add a purple bead and put my string through the next pink. Now here we are at the 7th bead in. I'm going to skip that. I'm not going to add a bead there. I'm just going to put my string through that yellow bead. Then I'm going to put my string through this green bead that's sticking out. Still haven't added any more beads. Now I'm going to add a blue bead. Put my string through this next purple. Going to add a pink bead. Right. Add a green bead. Adding a purple. Adding a yellow. Gonna add a blue. Then I'm gonna add a pink. I'm gonna add a green. And this gap here is the 7th bead in, so I'm not going to add a bead here. I'm just gonna put my string through this purple bead and then through this pink bead without adding a bead. Boop. Oh, there's a knot in that one. Here we go. Oh. Oh. It's stuck. Oh, we have 2 knots hitting each other. Never had that one happen before. Okay. Now I'm going to add a yellow bead. Add a blue bead. Add a pink bead on the edge. Switch my strings, get the other one, place it through that edge bead to hold it on. Okay, now I'm going to place a purple in this gap and a green in this gap. This might be an appropriate time to zoom in. Okay, so now I'm going to just thread my string through this pink, this purple, this blue, and this green without adding any beads. Now I'm going to fill all these gaps until I get to this part here. Of course, we're not going to add any beads on this part right here. And here we go. Ah! Yellow and purple. And green. Then a pink. Then a blue. Then a yellow. Then a purple. And now we've gotten to this part where we're not going to add any beads for a few minutes here. I'm going to go through this green, yellow, pink, and purple without adding any beads. Alright, and then I'm going to put a blue and a yellow in those gaps. Alright. Go back to this side over here and start again. So I'll add a pink and then a blue. And here goes the pink. And blue. Alright. Then I'm gonna thread my string through this yellow, pink, purple, blue, green, and yellow without adding any beads. knot's getting in my way again. That's the only downside of the string being so nice and thick. My knots are colliding. There we go. You can see I am wrestling with this baby. Maybe I should get a slightly smaller string next time. There we go. A little wrestling, that's all it took. Alright, so now I'm going to fill these 6 gaps. Ooh, we're almost done, guys. So now I'm going to thread my string through these next 6 beads without adding any more beads. Now I'm going to add a green bead. Put my string through this next yellow. Here we go. And add a pink edge bead. I like how both the edges are pink. Anyways. Then I'm going to switch to the other string. Put it through that floaty edge bead to hold it on. Gonna place on a yellow bead. Here we go. Boop. And I'm going to thread my string all the way through all these beads without adding any more beads. Here we go. Okay. So, as you can see here, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 gaps in this middle part. So what I'm gonna do is put on 2, and then we're gonna skip the middle gap, and then we're gonna put on 2 more, just like we did with the bottom portion, if you can remember that. So I'm gonna put on a yellow bead, put my string through the next green, put on a blue bead, put my string through the next purple. Then I'm going to skip this gap, just thread my string through this pink middle bead, and then through this yellow bead that's sticking out. Then I'm going to add a green, and add a purple. Ooh, you're like so almost done, guys. Then I'm going to thread my string through all these until we get to this end gap. Oh, I'm so excited that we're almost done. This takes so long, guys. There we go. The noises enhance the beading. Alright, now I'm going to put 1 purple bead in that gap. Ooh, 1 more. Just 1 more row, guys. 1 more row. I'm so excited. Okay. Go back to the other side. Here I'm going to place on my very point pink edge bead. Pink edge bead is my new favorite phrase. Alright, put the string through that next yellow bead. So there's that. And then we're gonna thread the string all the way through all these beads till we get over here so we can put a bead in this gap. So I've made it to this gap. I'm gonna add a green bead there. Bam! I'm gonna thread my string through the next 4 beads without adding any more. We're almost done. Almost done. Alright, then I'm gonna add a blue bead in this gap. Bam. I'm gonna thread my string all the way to this edge so I can add my edge pink, the pink edge bead. Ooh. We're almost done, we're almost done. Oh man, here we go. Ooh, I just went through like 3 beads. I'll take it. Wait, keep going. Whoa. Keep going. Guys, I just threaded it through like 5 beads at once. Holy crap. This has never happened. That was beautiful. Okay, now I'm gonna add my pink edge bead. Now we're gonna tie this baby. We're gonna tie it off. We're done. Not really, but like almost. We're almost done. But not quite. Oh my gosh! Give this thing a couple ties. Make sure we tug on it to tighten the knot. Not too hard, or it will snap and hurt your hand. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, guys, we're so almost done. Okay, I'm gonna cut this off. Oh my god. This is so exhausting. Like, if I'm exhausted, I know you're exhausted. So good. We're like so almost done, guys. So now we're gonna sew our little middle points together. Okay. Okay. So now I'm gonna put my string through this middle bead on the bottom. And then I'm gonna put the string through the bead next to it. And then I'm gonna go take the other end and put it through that other bead that's next to it. The squeaks enhance the beading. Okay, so I've got my string going through these middle 3 beads, and I want to try to keep the ends even. Alright, so I'm going to take this string and thread it through the second bead to the inside on the opposite side. And now I'm going to take my other string, so I'm switching strings, and I'm going to put the string through the second bead to the inside on the other side. So many words. Bam. Okay, now I'm going to switch strings again. So I'm using this one now. I'm going to put it through this very point bead on the opposite side. This is sort of like imagine you're lacing up your shoes or something, you know? So now I'm going to take my other string and switching strings again. I'm going to put it through the very point bead on the opposite side. Sort of laced it up like a shoelace. like clip-clopping down the stairs with their short little legs. Okay, so now we're gonna tie this in a very simple knot. So there's one knot, and then I'm gonna pull on it like this, just to make sure it's nice and tight. And then I'm gonna tie 2 more knots. Okay, now we can cut that off. Okay, so now let's see, this bottom part looks like this. So it'll rest on your chin nicely. And I'm gonna do the same thing to the top part. Get another little piece of string. Whoop. Alright, I'm gonna put this string through the middle 3 beads. And I'm gonna try to keep the ends even. Oh my gosh, I'm sorry. It went out of frame. I'm sorry. Just gotta wrestle with this thing, man, you know? Okay, so I've got the string going through the middle 3 beads. I'm gonna take this string and put it through the second bead to the inside on the other side. Here we go. Switch strings again. Put my string through this blue bead. Bam. Switching strings again. Put my string through the very point bead on the opposite side. Switching strings again. Putting that one through the point bead of the opposite side. Bam. So now we're going to tie a very simple knot. Make sure you tug on it to tighten it nicely. And then tie it a couple more times. Ooh, this is the nose piece. Oh my gosh, we're so almost done. I'm gonna have such a big snack after this. Okay. Bam, there's the nose piece. Oh my gosh, we're so almost done. Making masks is like exhausting for me, guys. Like by the time I get to this part where I'm making the straps, I'm like already ready to be done. It's so big it doesn't even fit in the frame anymore. Okay, so now we're gonna add the straps. So I'm switching to my elastic because it's stretchy for the straps, and I'm gonna get a piece that's like the length of my arm, which is like approximately 2 feet. I'm gonna make my straps 30 beads long, I think. Yeah, 30. Yeah, 30. I'm gonna make my straps 30 beads long. The length you make your straps can vary, like, you know, if you have a smaller head than me, or your beads are skinnier, or, you know, whatever. So, I do recommend holding the mask like up to your head with the strap around your ear before you tie it off, just to make sure that your straps are good. But I'm gonna flip this sucker upside down, makes it easier for me, and I'm going to fold my string in half like this. I'm gonna put one end through this bottom purple bead, so it's gonna be this, the second bead towards the inside on the very bottom. So for me it's this purple one. Here we go, so I've got that through there. And then I'm going to put the other end of the string through the bead directly above that one. Like that. Oh, oh. Got wrapped around the mask. Okay, there we go. So now I'm going to pull the 2 ends of the string all the way through, because I want to keep the ends pretty even. And then I'm going to put the 2 ends together and put them through this very corner pink bead. Here we go. And I'm just gonna add 30 beads onto both these strings at one time. So I got 30 beads on my string here. And now I'm going to go to the 4th edge bead down. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, this bead right here. And I'm gonna put both ends of my strap string through there. There we go. It almost fell out. So this is the part where I would just like hold it like this and like loop this around my ear and make sure that it fits before I tie it off. So once you've done that, go ahead and place each end of your string through the 2 purple beads right next to the pink bead that your strings are coming out of. So that would be the 3rd and 4th purple bead down for me. Like that. And I'm gonna put it through the 3rd bead down. And now I'm going to tie these 2 ends together. And now I'm going to cut the tails off. And then I'm just going to tug on this. There we go. So that's one strap down. Now we're going to do the other side. I guess I'll put it like this so it makes more sense for you guys. Okay, so I'm going to need another piece of string approximately 2 feet long. And I'm going to place one end of my string through this very bottom yellow bead. And then the other end through the one directly on top of it. Okay. Put the 2 ends together and pull. Because you want them to be the same length. And put both ends through the very corner bead. There we go. And now I'm going to add 30 beads onto both strings at once. Now I've got my 30 bead. Oh god, I have the hiccups. So now I've got my 30 beads on my strap. Excuse me. What perfect timing. Okay, so now I'm going to take these 2 ends and put them through the 4th edge bead down. One's not going. Oh my god. Okay. Alright. They finally went through. Okay, so now I'm going to put one end through each of the 2 yellow beads that are right next to the bead the strings are coming out of. So I'm going to put this string through the 3rd yellow bead down. I can do this. I can finish this tutorial. I'm almost done. Okay. I'm gonna take the other end of the string and put it through the 4th yellow bead down. I'm not giving up. I'm almost done. Okay, so now I'm gonna tie this off. This ear straps are the part that we definitely don't want to tighten like super excessively because, you know, you want it to be nice on your ears. Oh my god. Oh my god, this is like the 3rd time today I've gotten hiccups. Okay, but I do want to tug it like that so that any slack goes into the strap. Oh my gosh, we did it. This is really pretty. Here, let me zoom out so we can admire. Oh, that's in. So you can admire this beauty. Wow! Gosh! Dang it. This is usually the part where I try on my creation. Okay, let's try on our creation. Oh my lord. Try yours on with me. It's the end of the video. If you made it this far, you're awesome. If you made a mask, I totally want to see it. And until next time, peace, love, unity. Respect. Also, I just want to say thank you so much. I just reached 7,000 subscribers. It seems like just yesterday I was like, oh my god, I have 300 subscribers. I need to make more videos, and like now I have 7,000, and like thank you so much for like watching my videos and stuff, and bye.